Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Dr. Syariti. My name is AMIRUL bin ZULKIFLI and my matrix number is S62247. So for today, I'm going to present my pre-reflection for integrated case study. So for the first questions, what is ethical considerations? Ethical consideration for me can be defined as moral principles and that will guide our decision making and behavior in the accounting or business process. So we have learned about integrity, objectivity and responsibility in the accounting subject. So but there will be some challenges also, just like conflict of interest, bribery, corruptions and corporate governance. So all of this can be prevented by having a really good self-control and also some good internal control of a company. So for the second question is asking about our expectations to this subject. So the first one is to teach the students about the real world business scenario, which will help us to be prepared for our workplace later to face any challenges arise. So the second one is critical thinking and problem solving, which student will develop the critical thinking skills, which to analyze the complex scenario and maybe some identify key issue and formulate some solutions for their company. So for the third question is self-awareness, and for this question I would say yes, there's some relations between personal value and ethical standards. For example, personal value, responsible. I am very responsible person. I do all my assignments. I take charge for what I said and what I did. And some ethical standards that might be arise from this is integrity. Integrity is the highest standards of honesty and trustworthiness in the world. So people with responsible is gonna have integrity in their work to avoid any conflict of interest and maintaining the confidentiality. So the second one is hardworking. Hardworking, for example, I am very hardworking person. I do all the extra works. It will arise the ethical standards, which is competence. Competence known to be the continually strive to improve my knowledge and skills to ensure that I am qualified to perform my duties. So for the fourth question, it's asking about the applications. There will be two impact. So for example, we have a really good ethics. The reputations and trust will be increased for the company. This is due to the good ethics which our company is really clean. There is no fraud happening or any bribe happening, and it will gain the trust of the customer, employee and also investor. So if we are having some unethical behavior inside the company, the reputation and the trust also will decrease. So we will lose our customer, employee and also investor. So for also same for the second one, which is stakeholder relationship, having a really good ethics will strengthening the relationship with the stakeholder, will make the company become more stronger. By acting ethically, organizations will demonstrate respect for their customer, employee and also supplier. By having really bad ethics or bad ethical considerations, the stakeholder might take their money or turn down their offer or anything. It will also affect the company's reputations. So for awareness and consequences questions, the last one, how do we perceive the potential ethical challenges is happening inside the company? Unethical behavior can be seen by looking at their financial statements. Financial statements is very, very important in accounting. It appears all the past informations, all the reputations happen in this year, that year. We can see the reputations in the financial statements. And the second one is current reputation of the company. So like for some certain companies that doing not really great in their profits making, their reputation will be dropped, and this might be something happen or anything that they do that some people are not agree with, and it will affect their reputations of the company. So I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is FARHAN bin JAMSARI. My matric number is S61686. Today I would like to present my pre-reflection for ACT 4601 Integrated Case Study. Alright, so the first question is about understanding ethics. So for me, I would like to list down 4 ethical behavior, which is honesty and integrity. So the content must be truthful and transparent in their work. So for instance, they should accurately report financial information without distorted figures to make the company look more profitable than it actually is. So the second one is objectivity and independence. So the accountant should remain impartial and avoid any conflict of interest. They need to ensure their judgment is not compromised by personal relationship or incentive. So the third one is professional competence and due care. Accountant must continuously update their skills and knowledge to provide competent services. They are also expected to act diligently, complying with relevant law and standards. The last one is about fair presentation and full disclosure. The financial statement should be fairly presented the financial position of the company, including all necessary disclosure. The second question is about my expectation for this course delivery. So I hope that I can improve my knowledge and skills about accounting professions and strong communication skills. And I also hope that I can know what is ICS is about. Alright, so the third question is about how personal values can align with the ethical standards. So personal values that I would like to mention is committed. So committed is someone who is dedicated, loyal and wholeheartedly devoted to a cause, task or relationship or a goal. So this commitment reflects a strong sense of responsibility or willingness to invest time, efforts and energy, and the determination to follow through regardless the challenges or setback. So the second one is detail oriented. So detail oriented is a person who is always paying close attention to all of the small particulars when working on a task or project. So it means that they can detect or observe every single unethical behavior that might or just happen in the company financial report. So for the fourth question is for application. So good ethics. So good ethics, it can impact decision making for an organization through their behavior such as transparency, integrity and honesty. So when a person who have a strong ethics, they can help prevent financial fraud, maintain trust with stakeholders. So they can provide a fair financial presentation and improve their company image. So bad habits, bad ethics, so it is a common thing that brings a person to do a fraud. This can impact decision making because they did not have integrity and honesty. Basically, a person who can be easily defrauded is when he is in a critical moment, which is in a financial problem or having a bad influence. So they can do fraud even though it can ruin their career. Alright, so the fifth question is about potential ethical challenges. So I think the first one is about financial report. So basically there could be insignificant number or changes in financial figures, which is could be happen due to report significant revenue growth or other things. So the second one is about corporate culture. So by observing leadership behavior and tone at the top, so if senior management demonstrates unethical behavior or fails to prioritize ethical standards, it can trickle down and influence the entire organizations to do something that unethical behavior, such as fraud or others. Alright, so I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is AINA SALSABIELA and my metric number is S61514. So I will be presenting the pre-reflection for integrated case study. So for the first question is, what do you currently understand about ethical consideration and challenges in accounting and business practice? So for ethical consideration in accounting and business practice are essential to maintain trust, transparency, and fairness in the financial world. These considerations often revolve around the principles such as honesty, integrity, objectivity, and compliance with professional standards. And next is ethical challenge that I choose conflict of interest, because accountants nowadays may face situations where personal interest will clash with their professional duty, potentially leading to biased decision making. Like they may make decisions that favor their personal interests over the best interest of their client. For the second question is, what ethical challenge do you anticipate encountering during the course delivery? I choose plagiarism because group member may plagiarize the work of others, either intentionally or unintentionally. This can have serious consequences, including academic dishonesty and reputational damage. The third question is, how do you think your personal value align with the ethical standard expected in the accounting profession? So my personal value is being a fast learner and working well in teams are excellent qualities that align with the ethical standard expected in the accounting profession. So the first one is adaptability, because accountants often need to adapt to new accounting standard, regulation, and technologies. A fast learner like me can quickly grasp new concepts and apply them effectively. Next is the collaboration. Accounting projects often involve collaboration with colleagues, clients, and other professionals. A strong team player can effectively work with others to achieve common goal. The next question is, in what ways do you think ethical consideration can impact decision making within an organization? So the ethical consideration that I choose is transparency and accountability, because organization must be transparent in their operation and accountable for their stakeholder. So based on that, the impact on the decision making is the reputation and trust of the company, because ethical behavior can enhance an organization's reputation and build trust with the stakeholder. So for the last question is the awareness of the consequences, which is, how do you perceive the potential ethical challenge or consequences of unethical behavior in a business context? So the ethical challenge is the unethical practice, which is bribery, corruption, and discrimination are the example of unethical practice that can damage a company's reputation and have a legal consequences. So the consequences of unethical behavior in a business is obviously reputational damage. A company's reputation can suffer greatly if it is involved in unethical behavior. This can lead to loss of customer trust, boycott, and decreased profit.
Good day to my doctor, Dr. Shouti. My name is Ding Longjun and I'm here to present for our integrated case study ICS cell fractions. Okay, firstly, we need to understand the ethic. Okay, some ethic we learn in the accounting is honesty, responsibility, integrity, and objectivity. But when we practice this ethic in the real world, there are some challenges that we will face, such as the conflict of interest, briberies, and fraud. So we need to have a self-control, a strong self-control when we practicing this ethic in the real world. Okay, for the second part is what I expect when deliver the course is I want to know what is the importance of the ICS to the company. Third, self-awareness and ethical standards. So the personal value and ethical standard I have separated into two. So the personal value, I am a responsible person and a quick learner. So when I am a responsible person, I can I can do my assignment on time and no any delay in the assignment, and make my team members to work for me and so on. And I'm a quick learner, I can learn the thing faster and I can apply it in the assignment too. Okay, so for the ethical standards, accounting ethics standard is the most that we can practice because we have learned from year 1 to year 4. So this is a quite good ethic that can be practiced by the future accountant, and I believe that practice makes perfect. Okay, so what is the impact of ethical to the decisions making? Firstly, I have separated it into two parts. First is stakeholders, and second is long-term perspective. When we have a good ethic and a bad ethic, good ethic will make the stakeholders to more believe in the company, because they will not make some fraud, they will not making any greenwashing process that cheating the stakeholders. But when they have a bad ethic, will make the stakeholders not believe in the company and will directly influence your company business. Okay, second is the long-term perspective. Good ethic, we can consider as the management have a good ethic, they can think more wider, think more future, think more long time, that can make our company to be more sustainable. But when the bad ethic is get into the decision making, okay, like what I say, the management may be have making some fraud, like what's the VGC company making, and we'll also have some greenwashing process, and this is not for good for the sustainable of the company. Okay, so how we aware about the unethical behavior? So in accounting, we can recognize the unethical behavior by looking at the financial statement of the company, because financial statement is the language to communicate among the accountants. So we can know when they have altered the financial statement or have any mistake in the financial statement that will make the unethical behavior by the management. And second is the reputation of the company. Some company have a bad reputations, like nowadays the McDonald's, the KFC have a bad reputations among the Malaysians. So maybe they have made some unethical behaviors too, and this can be some awareness to other companies. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good day everyone. My name is Muhammad AQIL bin Muhammad ARSYAD LEONG, and my mission number is 62422, and I'm from K3, which is Dr. Shariti's class. So today I'll be presenting, or I'll be discussing about integrated case study about ethical considerations and challenges faced in business operations. So we're going to the agenda. So the first one is the understanding the ethics. Second one is the expectations. The third one is self-awareness. The fourth one is application, and the last one will be the awareness and the consequences. So for the first one is the challenges faced and the ethical considerations that we must have. Okay, so the first one is we need to provide accurate financial information without manipulating the data. So the considerations here is the integrity and honesty behavior must be related in providing informations. Okay, so the second one is situations that may arise involving personal interests or relationships, which is the conflict of interest between maybe the instructors, maybe the board of directors, between us colleagues or us fellow small workers lah. So we must have the professionalism, must have professionalism in any organizations to prevent from conflict of interest or maybe prevent from any conflict that we had between us and the instructors or the board. So for the second one is the expectations. Okay, addressing bias and discriminations is there must be biases between races, genders, and others that will affect interactions with other students. Okay, so with this kind of problems, so we must have communications with them to understanding them more, so that we can communicate better, and we can have the interest more. So the second one is the conflict of interest. Okay, this conflict of interest is from the instructors to us. So this problem involves if we don't communicate with our instructors. So we must have communication with our instructors so that can't be a conflict between us and our instructors. Okay, so this one is what I bring to the table. Okay, so I have the integrity because I manage myself well, and I show that people that I can do better in terms of my discipline and my integrity of doing things. Okay, so the second one is collaboration. I love collaborating with my fellow colleagues so that I can communicate with them more. I can brainstorm ideas. I love to brainstorm ideas with others because it can make us share our common goals. So for the fourth one will be the applications, which is the ethical considerations that can impact on decision making. So the first one is the integrity. Okay, so we must ensure that honesty and transparency in operations and communications, so that we can have long term up reputations, which has built trust with stakeholders and improve an organization's reputation. The second one is we must not have conflict of interest. We must avoid. Okay, so the impact will be the ethics shape the internal culture of the organization, reinforcing shared values that can drive collaboration and innovation, so that we can communicate with different cultures. We can understand how they move, how they live. So for the last one is the awareness of consequences. So for my main opinion is the bribery and corruption. So in some sectors, there may be unethical pressures to bribe officials or engage in corrupt practices to secure contracts or advantages. Okay, so how to perceive is we must have strong ethical leadership because every leaders must set the tone from the top, demonstrating a zero tolerance policy toward bribery and corruption and ensuring all employees understand the ethical standards of the organization so that we can have the communication well and we can share our common goals well. So I think that's all. Thank you. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group IOI Corporation Berhad. My name is Muhammad Sufi Syahmi bin Amiruddin. My metric number S61978. So, today we want to present about the self-reflection task. For the first question, what do you currently understand about ethical consideration and challenges in accounting and business practice? Ethical consideration refer to the principle or guideline that help individual or organization determine what is right or what is wrong in a given situation. For example, firstly is honesty and integrity. Accountants must present financial information accurately without manipulation. The ethical challenge is arise when there is pressure to falsify financial report, delay expense recognition, or inflate the revenues. Secondly is confidentially. Accountants must be able to handle and protect private or sensitive information from the third party, maintaining confidential while ensuring the necessary disclosure are made is the challenges that are arise. Second question is what ethical challenge that do you anticipate encounter during the course delivery? For me, the challenge that I anticipate encounter during the course delivery is miscommunication because I don't always in a group with them. So maybe it is hard for me to communicate well with them. Without a clear communication, the quality of work will be reduced. Our team members may interpret the instruction differently, leading to inconsistent or incomplete result. To manage this challenge, I plan to communicate well, openly with my group members about the expectation, whether it is in the discussion group or while doing the assignment. For the third question, how do you think your personal value align with the ethical standards expected in the accounting profession? One of my strongest personal values is honesty, and I believe this aligns directly with the ethical standards of the accounting profession, especially the need for integrity in the financial reporting. Throughout my life, I have always prioritized truthfulness, whether in my personal relationship or in the academic setting, and this value shapes the way I approach my work. In accounting, being honest and transparent with the financial information is important to maintaining the trust with stakeholders and ensuring the accuracy of reports. My value of accountability ensure that I will take the responsibility for my action and maintain a high standard of professionalism. For the fourth question, in what ways do you think ethical consideration can impact the decision making within an organization? Ethical decision making fosters trust among stakeholders, including the employees, customers, and investors. When organizations prioritize ethical consideration, they will build a credibility which is important for the long-term relationship. For instance, I believe that a company that is transparent in its operation and communicates openly with its stakeholder can create a positive reputation, making it more likely to success in the competitive market. For the last question, how do you perceive the potential ethical challenge or consequence of unethical behavior in business context? From my perspective, unethical behavior can compromise the integrity of decision process. For example, when a leader prioritizes personal gain over ethical consideration, it will set a poor example for the employees and can lead to a culture when unethical decisions become normalized. This can create a cycle of unethical behavior in the organization where the unethical behavior will be repeated again and again. So that's all from me. Thank you.